Hi, welcome to a brand new video of the Target Individual Program, the Target Individual Experience. So tonight, they have been again uh, surveilling me in the home. I mean, it's extreme, really. It's to the point where you know everything that I look at, everything that I touch, everything that I watch, almost everything that is said, it's a car honk or a siren, and they're doing it at a very low volume, but the frequency has been sped up, right? Also, earlier, because of the heavy remote monitoring, I started to get the ice pick headache. Okay, so I take what is it? Not anyway, it's medication that the doctor gave me, um, for me to take, right? And so after I took that, it took about maybe about 10 minutes or so. It works pretty quick because it kind of melts in your mouth. You put on your tongue and it melts, so you don't really need water. Um, but anyway, I do take water with it though. You know, but yeah. So the headaches are coming back, and you would think that and they know what it is that they're doing. They know that they listen to every time I'm in pain, particularly it's funny because every time I go to the doctor, he never really give me a pain injection, right? Pain reliever injection. But last time when I went, um, he gave me pain reliever injection. But again, because my back is hurt so much and so bad that also because of the microterin, so even though I'm still in pain, but it's not great as it was before, where I'm yelling and screaming out in pain. Okay, and I guess it kind of bothers them, right? That they're doing this and torturing me, hearing me scream out in pain, whether it be from the headaches or from my back. And so they're like, well, you know what? Okay, let's let the doctor give him a pain, injection, pain relief injection, right? But that don't last too long. That hasn't lasted too long because I'm still, in pain, not in great greater pain than I was before. Okay. Also, um, I still have to walk very, slowly. All right. And if I do walk at a normal pace, I can only do it for a block or two because again, my the muscle still tightens up. Okay. Though I still feel some pain, some discomfort. It's not as if how it was when I didn't get the pain relief injection, right? So I'm still in pain. So I still have to, be careful, because the one thing that, having this severe back injury is that when you get this pain injection, like when it first started happening, I would go to the hospital, and they would give me a shot, give you a shot in the butt to relieve the pain. But, you know, being that I didn't know about these things, I still had to take it easy, right? I still had to, because even though your the pain had it was relieved, if you start doing things and not being careful, you can injure your back even more. And then when that pain medication wears off, you're going to be in tremendous pain. Trust me, I've experienced it. Um, so yeah, so like when I sit down, even still when I sit down, they're honking their horn. When I'm about to get up, like every time I take off my glasses, I put on my glasses, it's a car honk or police siren. Okay, this is every time. This is how extreme it has been for me, right? Very very extreme. And then, send me subliminal message that you know that that they're going to do this for the rest of my life, or I'm gonna get the maximum um, torture, you know, which is for the rest of my life. I'm like, okay, oh, see that? Oh, ooh. This is an example of my nerve and how bad it has gotten to where I'm dropping my phone out of my hand, you know, and so and you see, as I attempt to bend down, I had to do it very slowly. I couldn't just, it's not. When did that happen? Your natural reaction is to, you kind of move with a quick to try to grab it, I just let it drop. I don't even, at that moment when I'm like, I got kind of have to pull back and just be like, no, 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 But anyway, so yeah, so now I have to hold the phone, um, in the palm of my hand. Whereas when I was holding it, it was more, it didn't rest in the palm of my hand, but I have to rest it in the palm of my hand in order for it not to fall, because it will fall again. Um, so and again, see, this is what happened too, because you forget, right? So yeah. So as I was saying, so they're like, oh, we're going to give you the maximum amount of time. We're going to torture you for the rest of your life. There has never been any TI that I know of where they stop being targeted. The targeting may kind of lessen. Yeah, maybe the frequency is not as much as before, but you're gonna always be targeted as a TI. Okay, when you're in this program, because they have to surveil you, have to watch you, because they don't want you to um, expose what it is that they're doing, right? And they don't want you to get um, confident to expose them. So they have to be the one to try to create this false confidence within you. That way they can build you up and then tear you down. You know, your confidence I'm speaking about, right? I mean, as well as other things, but in this reference, I'm speaking about your confidence. So it isn't until you build confidence on your own that's when you will, um, be able to handle more of the targeting. And when I say handling, I mean that you're still going to be in pain, it's still going to be torturing you, but you're going to be able to avoid a lot of the traps that they set. You know, like recently, like I said, they always do this thing where it's like they want me to talk to women and they don't want me to talk to women. Because again, it's the whatever you want to do, they're gonna do. They're gonna try to do the opposite, right? So it's just the way it is, right? So if you're a woman TI, and you say, okay, you know what, I'm not bothering men, they will send a ton of men your way to try to talk to you. But again, these are honey traps, right? So honey traps can also be women and men. And same thing with if you're a TI and you're a man, and you're like, you know what, I'm not bothering women anymore. They will try to, they talk to women and stuff like that, which is, but it is again, they want to control you. That's what it is. They want you to do what they want you to do. You can't do what you want to do, right? They have to. It is a level of control, and again, Um, this is coming back to particularly with us as black people, um, me as a black person, uh, the next like the generation is going forward, and it's going to affect everybody too, not just black people. They're going to be enslaved. That's what it is. With this technology, they're going to enslave you. Okay, that's what they've been up to. So the previous video I posted before I upload this one, I talked about the name Sarah, right? How that name keep playing in my head, in my head, in my head. So later on, I was on YouTube and I was watching a story about this black man in Virginia who bought this old Victorian style house. What he didn't realize was that house was a plantation house. Okay, not only was it a plantation house, but his ancestors were slaves on that plantation house, right? And one of the women, his great grandmother, great grandmother, her name was Sarah. And I was like, holy crap. I'm like, okay, is this. See, sometimes they send you, and I'm not, you know, you know what I'm saying? Because again, these things are pre-planned, right? Because like I said, these people they are the dog tribe personality types, so they want you to know what it is that they're doing to you, right? When they're torturing you, they're psychopaths. The psychopaths will tell you, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and they're going to do it, right? Because they're psychopaths. So this is what they do to me. This is how they send me these subliminal messages about stuff to come. When I say stuff coming on the pipeline, because I already know, right? And so they were. So when I watched that, and I was like, oh, that's why the name Sarah keep repeating in my mind, over and over and over again, right? And it was sending a subliminal message that, and this was my interpretation. I could be wrong, but to me, is going forward again with this technology. Like the Russians said it. The Russians had said, the Russian scientists and newspaper investigators who were investigating this technology in Russia. They said that imagine the West having these weapons, turning it on their citizens, okay, making their citizens into zombies, content in their oppression, happy in in the violation of their rights and civil rights and constitutional rights. And this is what's happening now, you know. And over the past couple of years, we see these, particularly these mass shooters, right, who are just, particularly when they target black people, these white supremacist mass shooters. And again, when you look at the humane treatment that these individuals get for killing black people by the police, okay, because they never die, right? But if it's a black man now, not with a cell phone in his hand or a wallet in his hand, or the police officer say, hey, let me see your license, and the black man go to reach for his wallet, they're shooting him. Or you tell them, hey, I'm a licensed gun owner, they're shooting you, even though you're telling them you're a licensed gun owner, and they ask you to see the permit, they will shoot you if you try to go for your for your wallet or for your ID, right? Because that's the excuse that they want to use, okay? And we see this happening with black people all the time, and we see the conditioning of us as black people, how we are, how they can kill us in masses, and we just remain content. We remain, we march, we did this and that, but there is no anger, okay? Can you imagine if it was white people? I mean, I always talk about, go back to the history of the United States, right? When they basically were upset because they were being taxed more on tea. You ever heard of the Boston Tea Party? Okay, they had a revolution because of that shit. Okay, because of taxation, right? And then what did they do? They got guns, they got whatever, and they went to war, right? But us black people, because again, how they condition us, and what I always, people all, white people have never given up on the idea of owning black people. They have never given that idea up. Okay? And over the past decades, they have been studying us, our genes, our melanin, our frequency patterns. Okay? So it's funny whenever I see these black militias, and I'm just like, dude, I give them information because they need to have this information. We see what happened with what's his name, Master J from the NFAC, the No Fucking Around Coalition, right? They were on at a march, peaceful march, protecting the protesters. They were armed, okay, and in that state you have a right to be armed. And he was looking through his scope. Next thing you know, he gets arrested. They said that he was pointing his rifle at a FBI agent. I'm like, come on, if you're looking through your scope, his hands wasn't even on the trigger, right? His hand was not on the trigger. Now, how do you know the FBI agent on top of a rooftop because you can't see them, you can't see them, visually from your eyes, right? They may be far away, but you can't see them. And so you scoping, I mean, this shit is ridiculous. But they will find ways to take us out. Particularly, again, we talk about COINTELPRO and their search for black messiahs. Okay, not a black messiah, but black messiahs. Any black person who can organize, and you see how that black militia was well organized. They were large in number. They had to remove their leader. They had to. We start to see the takedown of intelligent black men, and particularly also these rappers, because they're making all this money. And when they make this money and they start to invest and stuff like that, the feds come and the feds arrest them, charge them with all kind of charges. This is a tactic white supremacists use. So when I talk about the FBI, when black people always look for the FBI, they are the FBI is some of the most racist individual. Just remember who started COINTELPRO. And also, just remember, the FBI used the local, state and police, state and local police. They create police units that were secret police units, and all that to do what? To do covert actions, illegal covert actions against black civil rights leaders, black individuals who were dissatisfied with the condition within communities of black people, and were outspoken against it. This is why they removed the video from YouTube with Dr. Peter Braggins in the Minds of Men. The new video that's up there with the same name is a different video. Okay, and the video I'm talking about, he talks about this. He talks about how they were taking community leaders, okay, drilling holes in their head because these so-called uh, um, neurologists and these upper echelon, these university neurosurgeons and stuff like that, they were racist and they couldn't understand why black people were protesting against the hard conditions that they live in and live under in under white supremacy. They couldn't understand it. So this is the mindset, okay? And I hope you guys just heard the sirens. I hope it showed up because it was very low. So whenever I speak about these things, what do? They'll send the police, right? So okay, I talk about, the lies that they tell, the deception, and like I said, it's very sad that black people will follow and go along with targeting their own and anybody else, okay, while we're being hunted and being targeted as black people. But again, that's the power of psychological conditioning, of brainwashing, okay, and the power of these technologies created to do just that. All right, so I will talk to you guys on the next video.